Hi, everybody. This is my wonderful wife, Janet, and we're still together. It's pretty awesome, going through this whole COVID crisis and everything else, and still like married. And no, we're 33 and a half years married, so been through a lot of stuff in our lives and beautiful children, and just happy to be here in St. George. One of the things I want to talk about is this whole COVID crisis and share it with those who might be interested to know what happened to us. We got COVID, remember,
In December.
in December, and it was actually right around my birthday. It was horrible,
And
and
Christmas.
and Christmas. So we had a horrible. I didn't have a fun time. We both got sick. Janet, you had it for how many days? About.
I had it for about 12 days. I had fevers every day for 12 days every afternoon.
Yeah, and I had it for about 10 days. I didn't have that much of a fever, just maybe, I think it was like 99 degrees, something like that.
My
Um,
headaches and
you had
you
headaches?
had headaches. What did
I
you
had
what
it.
else?
I had a
We had
real
different
strong headache.
symptoms.
Yeah, I had a real strong headache for about 3 days, a migraine. I did a lot. I took ivermectin,
Me too.
and Janet took that as well, and we basically made it through. And we were really excited to make sure that we didn't get greatly affected. This was back in December. So we decided to actually, well, I did. I tested for my antibodies. What was it about 3 weeks ago, and it came back that I still have antibodies after 8 months.
Oh, right. And the funniest thing about me having COVID was that he and our daughter both tested positive, and I tested negative twice while I was sick, and I was sharing, our home with them. So afterwards, I went and had a blood test for antibodies, and of course, they were positive. I didn't have some kind of weird flu while they were positive for COVID.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
so yeah, I definitely have post-infection antibodies.
Yeah, so she does too. And so we're sharing this for a reason because there are a lot of people that don't know the realities of the amount of post-infection immunity. People, I mean, all across the world, there's probably about 42, 43 million of us who have had COVID in the United States. And so there's a lot of push on this vaccine, 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 that you have to get the jab. And we opted not to do that. And believe it or not, just about a week and a half ago, we had a.
We had an infiltration into our home. We actually have some friends staying with us while they're between homes, and they had the jab, and they came down with, well, first the wife did at a gathering at her workplace, I guess, and oh gosh, it was 4 or 5 days later when her husband and father-in-law came down with it. So we had her kind of under wraps in our back guest room, and we're bringing things into her, keeping her quarantined. But when the other two got it, that became more complicated.
Yeah, it
So,
did. It did. As a matter of fact, the husband and also their father was staying with us. And so it got kind of crazy here for a good week. And believe it or not, Janet and I didn't get the vaccine. They got the vaccine. They started getting really sick. She got greatly sick. We had to bring her to the hospital, and they were giving her doses of other things to try to
oh, I
help her.
think they gave her steroids to help
Steroids.
open her airways because she was coughing and having a hard time breathing. The 87-year-old father got monoclonal antibodies.
Yeah, yeah, he did. And the other one, was kind of mild with the vaccine. But the funny thing about it is that all those who were vaccinated here in our house got sick, and those who didn't get vaccinated, us and then their daughter who wasn't vaccinated, we didn't get sick, but it was all over. We had a little bit of a sore throat. We probably got more antibodies, and so we're
And we
probably
took
good.
some more
We took
ivermectin.
more ivermectin, and also we did about a week before that. We actually took an immune IV at Prime IV, And also we got a shot. I got a shot of vitamin D, and you did too, right?
Yeah,
So
kind of in the middle of that whole course of things happening, I thought it would be a good idea for me to get the immunity boost and a shot of vitamin D as well.
yes, yes. And you know what we found? That's an important thing to test. You want to test yourself for your vitamin D level. Why? Because if you have a higher vitamin D level, you will probably not get sick nearly as much. Those who are in the 60 to 75, 80 range, man, you are able to overcome a lot of sicknesses. So, interesting thought on this too, just for you to know. I went to Prime IB, and the people who are there don't wear masks, and many are coughing. And I said, have you ever got COVID yet? They says, no, we take a 50,000 IU shot every 3 weeks.
Vitamin D.
A vitamin D.
Right.
And so they're very healthy, they're strong. That's important. Be proactive. Make sure that you're really taking care of yourself.
Well, even here where we have how many days of sunshine a
Oh,
year?
300 almost.
In
Yeah.
St. George, many people in Washington County, which is the county we live in, are low on vitamin D. So if you live in an area that gets less sunshine, or
Yeah.
like in the Pacific Northwest where you get very little,
Yeah.
then that's really important to know what your vitamin D levels are and to get supplementation.
Very important. So suggest that for those who are worried about COVID. If you have post-infection immunity, keep getting checked to make sure you have those antibodies. Really important. And lastly, just for you to know, there's another friend that I have, and she had 2 friends who were vaccinated, and believe it or not, they're in the hospital. He's on a ventilator.
Yeah.
So just because you have the vaccine doesn't mean that you're 100% safe. And so there's been a lot of untruths out there about a lot of things.
I don't buy that phraseology that we hear over and over again, that this is a pandemic of the unvaccinated.
Yeah.
We were not sick. We didn't infect our friends who had the vaccine.
They infected us.
Well,
We didn't get it. They got it. So anyway, we just want to share that story with you, give you hope. God gave us our body to be a incredible body for immunity, and you just got to be proactive. You can't be reactive on this. You got to really take your vitamins, take your zinc, take your vitamin D. Get it, ivermectin. We believe in ivermectin no matter what the leftist media is saying. They constantly are saying it's all about, horse dewormer. Come on, guys.
there's
That's
a human,
false.
preparation that is you take in pill form, and the dosage is predicated by how much you weigh.
Yes.
You can probably
certain amount of
link
milligrams. I
thing
can link
underneath.
it to you if you're interested in wanting to get it. So just be strong on this, and we're going to make it through. We've made it through the second time, and I think our antibodies are strong and
I
our
think
immunity
that
is strong.
This story of what happened in our home this past week proves that.
Exactly. Well, have a great day, and thanks for watching. God bless.